Hey guys, my name is Victoria, welcome back to my channel. It's finally time for a new book haul. It's not as if I didn't buy any books since the last time I filmed a book haul. It's also a little bit special because I acquired these books with a discount for people that work there. Because I've been helping out and working at said bookstore for 1.5 months now. Sadly, my contract ends at the end of September. But nevertheless, I did acquire a lot of skills when it comes to selling books, recommending books, and reviewing them, and sorting them and everything. So first of all, I love my job. Second of all, I got a discount, which is amazing and very dangerous when you work in a bookstore. So also the background is new if you have no idea what this is all about, and if you're interested you can watch my last video. I filmed a bookshelf tour. Yay! Let's go! I have two categories, non-fiction and fiction. I think we're going to start with fiction. The first one is The Emperor of Gladness by Ocean Vuong, his second novel. I read On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, I think 4 years ago. I loved it. Then I read it again 2 years ago. I am in love with Ocean Vuong's writing and I can't wait for this one. One late summer evening in the post-industrial town of East Gladness, Connecticut, 19-year-old High stands on the edge of a bridge in pelting rain, ready to jump, when he hears someone shout across the river. And that's all I'm gonna say, because that's all I know. I haven't actually read the entire summary of it because I do want it to be a sort of surprise. Can we talk about the floppiness of this book? I love a floppy paper bag. That's the first one. I do have this book in German as well. My mom got it for me because it's signed. I do have to brag about this just a second. There you go. There it is. I also recently found out that Ocean Vuong is going on a book tour with this book. It's coming to Munich and I didn't get any tickets, which I'm really sad about. Anyway, we'll continue with the classic Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I do have this book already, but I have it in a very special, beautiful edition that you can see. Yeah, right there. And the problem with this, and I explained it in my bookshelf tour, is that I have a hard time reading beautiful hardcovers because I'm a person that likes to crack a spine and annotate a thing or two, or 100. So I feel much more comfortable in sort of making a book look like it's been read and loved with paperbacks. So since Wuthering Heights is on the top of my list alongside Frankenstein for my fall autumn read, I had to get this. So yeah, block here. Blech. It begins as a man is forced to shelter at a strange, grim house on the Yorkshire moors during a snowstorm. There he discovers the tempestuous events that took place there years before. The intense love between Catherine Earnshaw and the foundling Heathcliff, her betrayal of him, and how his terrible revenge continues to haunt the present. Yay! I finally want to get my hands on this, or my eyes into this. Anyway, let's continue with The Poet by Louisa Reed. This is about bright, promising, in Oxford living Emma and her toxic romance and relationship with one of her professors. Yay! What drew me to this book is, first of all, the title. You can trap me with anything that says poet or poetry on it, it's pretty self-explanatory, but this is written in verse and I'm really intrigued by entire sort of novels written in verse. I'm interested to see how it can be understood, the levels of complexity or difficulty. Here you go. This is what it looks like. I'm really excited about this one. Next we have a mythology retelling, Hera or Hera. Jennifer Saint is one of my favorite authors when it comes to mythology retellings. I've read Electra, Ariadne, and Atalanta by her, so I think all of her works by now. So it was only a matter of time before this book would be part of the collection. Obviously, if you don't know Hera, she is the wife, also sister, of Zeus, the king of Olympus. When Hera, immortal goddess and daughter of the ancient titan Cronus, helps her brother Zeus to overthrow their tyrannical father, she dreams of ruling at his side. As they establish their reign on Mount Olympus, Hera suspects that Zeus might be just as ruthless and cruel as the father they betrayed. So yeah, I'm excited. I love how Jennifer Saint dedicates her time to writing nuanced novels about the women in mythology that most of the time get sidelined. I don't think Hera would want to be called sidelined, but I think you know what I mean. Especially when you think about Greek mythology and how prominent the male figures are. I'm excited about this. I love Greek mythology, if you couldn't tell. And yeah, also I love this copy. I think it's gorgeous. It's very pretty. Yay! My last novel, oh god, is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. 3 young women, their bodies planted in the same soil, their stories tangling like roots. 3 women, 3 different times, and also 3 different places. First, we establish a story in 1532, and I'm sorry if I butcher this, Santo Domingo de la Calzada, then 1827 in London, and then 2019 in Boston. What I heard about this book is that it's sapphic and that it has vampires, so these words in combination is enough to get me to buy a book, especially if it's by V.E. Schwab, because I do want to get into her work ever since I read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Yay! Now let's continue to the 4 non-fiction books that I bought. First of all, we have The Garden Against Time, In Search of a Common Paradise by Olivia Laing. hope I said this right. This is a memoir. The author describes her relationship to gardening, to flowers, to plants, especially in the time during COVID. My best friend recommended this book because she had to read it for a class for university. I thought it sounded beautiful, and I've read the first 2 chapters, and already the connections she draws between different things and the history of plants, especially in Europe now, and where they actually come from, and colonialism is so interesting, and she writes about it beautifully, and I can't wait to continue reading this. I'm currently reading 4 books, so... And my neighbor's staring at me because she sees me filming something. This is not awkward at all. Can you please go? Anyway, this was The Garden Against Time. Next, I have a very special book, which I'm really happy that I got. This is Hypatia by Sylvia Ronchet. Right there, Ronchet. I hope I'm saying this right. This is the true story of Hypatia, one of the few female scientists and actually also teachers in ancient times in ancient Greece. She lived around the time of 392 AD. That was when the official emperor during that time in that place declared Christianity as the true religion, and Hypatia, as a woman of science, was not really into God and religion. So obviously a smart woman had to be a witch and had to be killed. But obviously her death and her martyrdom are not the most important things about her. I've studied history for 2 years, and these books came up time and time again, and I'm so excited to get into this. This is not a biography. This is a thoroughly researched scientific paper. Nevertheless, I'm really glad that I got it, because this was actually, I think, the last one that we were able to order. I'm a very proud owner of this book. Owner. Next, we have 2 big books that I'm probably going to struggle to hold up. If you watched my bookshelf tour, you know this one already. This is the mythology book. 250 figures and tales of Greek mythology. This was on sale. It was like 10 bucks, and I had to take it with me because it's a huge book and it's gorgeous. You always have a painting, a picture, any sort of visual representation on the one side, and on the other side there is a bunch of information about the figure, about the story, and this is a good introductory sort of work if you're interested. I already have lots of knowledge when it comes to this specific area, but it's always good to have a work that sort of has the basic information if you want to incorporate that in research. For example, for me, it's important for university to have literary sources that I can cite, because you have to reference everything in a scientific paper. So I got this for that, but also because I'm interested in it. Yay! And the last one I got is this. It's another work that I mainly got for university. I am, spoiler alert, changing my major. I don't think I've said this yet. I might give it an update, different video when it comes to the new term. I'm still studying English, but I'm back into the bachelor program and not the teaching program. Those are very different majors in Germany. And as a minor, I chose art or art history. And this is perfect because I wanted to also have an introductory, summarized literary source. And I think I got it with this one. This is Leonardo, Frida und die anderen. Die Geschichte der Kunst, 800 Jahre lang, 100 Künstlerinnen und Künstler. Leonardo, Frida, and the others. The history of art. 800 years, 100 artists. And this is really cool. Let me show you. It's kind of similar to the one that I just showed you. On the one side, you always have the art that the specific artist created. So we do focus on the craft and the art of painting. And then you have the artist, and it's so cool. You always have the portrait of the painter themselves. Then you have a timeline of when exactly that painter lived and created their art with reference to the period. And then you have a short, concise, but I was promised a nuanced analysis of the painting that is depicted. And you also get 1 or 2 fun facts. And it's so cool. I needed this. This is so beautiful. I'm excited about this one. Gonna get plenty of views out of it. Wait, I forgot a book. This was already sorted into my bookshelf, so I forgot. This is Witches, Bitches, It Girls by Rebecca Endler. This is a German nonfiction book about the history and myths of the patriarchy and the negligence of women throughout history. And it's pretty self-explanatory. I love the cover, first of all. Not the biggest fan of the title. It's a pretty widespread research, because the author not only tackles social contemporary issues, but also where social and structural misogyny comes from and came from, and talks about specific myths with references and examples. And I read the first few pages. I thought the writing style was pretty approachable and also welcoming to the topic without it being too scientific and too difficult. I hope this will be a pretty good book when people want to start getting into this topic. So yeah, now we can actually finish this video. Yay! This is it, guys. We finished. These are all the books that I recently bought with my discount working at that bookstore. I really love it. I love talking about books. I've missed talking about books. Let me know what kind of books you bought recently, and have a lovely day or night or whenever you're watching this, and I hopefully see you in my next video. Bye bye! This is Witches, Itches, Bitches. This is Itches? What? This is oh my god. This is Witches, Itch.